Hey folks, how's it going? Dr. Spin. For the last 10 years, I've been running this blog in video format and written format, and I always kind of have an idea in mind for how I'm going to get at my album of the year. Because I always want to try to make it fair. I want to try to make sure that I'm not just like whatever album happens to be my favorite at the end of the year be actually the album of the year. We want to try to find some method for figuring that out. And over the last couple of years, I've been doing this sort of elimination bracket where I set this big complex thing where, two albums, listen to them over the course of a week, and whichever one wins goes on to the next bracket until I finally kind of refine it down to some of the best albums I've listened to this year. And sometimes this causes some very interesting interactions to happen between albums, especially whenever I hit things that are from different genres. So I thought that I would kind of maybe short form share some of these with you over the course of the next few weeks as I get close to the end of the year, and maybe see what you think about these albums and maybe sound off on which one you think is perhaps the better of the two albums. So this week, one of my eliminations is Gunship versus Disheveled Cuss. Now, both of these are self-titled albums, and of course, neither of them are 2021 release dates. That doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm just about what was new to me this year. Gunship is sort of this really fascinating 80s nostalgia album that does a lot of the things I really wish that Dana Jean Phoenix and FM84 had done last year whenever I was into that sort of leg of my listening. Gunship seems to have a really good original take on sort of synth wave thing. And they're completely self-aware of it. All their videos are great because they sort of hearken to 80s tropes. They even have John Carpenter on here doing a spoken word piece. So there's a lot going on with Gunship. On the other hand, Disheveled Cuss is the guitarist from Terra Milos, kind of his power pop album. And it's more of a 90s, early 90s pop album. So it kind of falls along with Liza Weezer, Dinosaur Jr., but guy from Terra Milos has got a lot more chops than that. And so it's got a little bit more technique, a little bit more a musical depth to it than sometimes you see from some of that 90s pop music. But this is the elimination that's come up between these two. And it's been a tough one because I have to decide again, is both of these are albums I think that relate to nostalgia as part of their success. The Gunship is very obvious, I think, but also Disheveled Cuss kind of has this 90s nostalgia. If you're a person that wishes that Weezer would kind of get back to their roots, or if you miss that kind of teenage fan club pop type thing, there's a lot to be said for the 90s nostalgia that's embedded in Disheveled Cuss. But I got to tell you that over the course of the last few months, Gunship has gotten way, way more play for me. Of course, got some interest in 80s nostalgia and how that stuff kind of works. But Gunship's take on it is so unique and so distinctive that even though it's clearly an album that has its foot in a very certain time frame on purpose, it does it so well that I really can't deny that. Disheveled Cuss is great. I love this album too. There's a lot of stuff great happening with it musically and songwriting-wise, but it just seems kind of dynamically flat. So throughout the course of the album, it's hard to hear things that really pop out. There are some great songs on there. Oh My God is a great song on here. She's Odd is another one that's awesome, but it just doesn't quite stack up, in my opinion, to Gunship. So this one gets my vote for this week on this particular elimination. Now, if you like this sort of thing, I'd be willing to do more of these because I do 2 to 3 eliminations a week, and some of them really are worth thinking about. So let me know if you like this feature. Maybe we'll do some more of them. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.